Weren't they? Okay.
Hey, we're here, and there's that school going up. It's not quite to that point, but
Whoa. Oh, okay. So that's not where it's at right now.
no.
No, 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 God, no.
Okay.
It's not even all the steel is up.
Oh, all right. It looks pretty
And
good.
there's a
like that.
lot of mud.
Oh, I know,
There's a
huh?
lot of mud.
But they've had a damn good season. I can't believe it. We're in the middle of February
Uh-huh.
and no snow.
It's okay.
Beautiful.
I'm not complaining.
That's the way I like it.
I'm okay with that.
Love the global warming, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I keep taking my aerosol cans and spraying them in the air.
Yeah, let's have a party and do that. Aerosol spraying party.
Actually, someone said that this is low. I said, no, it's not. What this is the fact that the winds haven't changed, the upper winds,
Right.
and we're getting our weather from the south.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't got that. Oh, here goes my throat. We haven't got that Arctic vortex that comes down with that cold Arctic air. We haven't got cold Arctic air.
None.
No.
That really hasn't gone below 20.
No. So you're not getting you're not getting that cold out of the north, and the jet stream keeps going the way it does.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I'm just fine.
I like
Ella
it.
says, aren't you missing the winter? I said, I hope I never start my snowblower.
It's fine with me.
Very happy with that.
But I start it once a month just to keep it running, so I don't have a problem with it when. I have a generator too. I start it once a month
Oh, I know those.
just in case. But
Mine I haven't used it so long. I had to change the battery.
Oh.
I got it pull starts too. So
yeah, but this is great. But yeah, last year was similar. We got hammered early. Remember last year
You get hammered?
by the snow. We got snow early. We
Oh.
got snow in December. In fact, then we had snow in
I knew where you were going to.
yeah the winter before. I think we got snow in November,
Mm-hmm.
and then no snow for the whole season till March. And then we got a ton of storms, and it snowed right into April.
Mm-hmm.
So who knows what's going to
Oh,
happen?
gee, I hope that doesn't happen now.
But one thing, if it snows,
It'll
if the
melt.
later you get if you get snow, it melts faster.
Did the woodchuck come up yet? Or whatever you
Yeah,
call
yeah. He
it?
said,
Yeah.
he said it was
Is it the
Yeah.
woodchuck?
groundhog.
Groundhog.
How many? You've been watching too many Geico
In
commercials.
my country, it's a woodchuck.
Okay.
Yeah, actually, a
You've been watching
groundhog,
Geico commercials.
a
Quit chopping that
groundhog-
wood.
Oh,
a groundhog is a woodchuck.
oh, it is a woodchuck.
It's
Yeah.
form.
Yeah, it's just a different name.
Yeah.
In New England, they call them woodchucks. In Pennsylvania, they call them groundhogs.
I had a woodchuck in my garden when I was living in Waltham. He was eating the garden.
Did he chuck your wood?
The yard was about, I don't know, maybe back to that wall.
Yeah.
So we called the animal people, whatever,
Yeah.
Got a woodchuck here. It's in my garden. I trapped it. What do I do? He says, well, release it in your land. Somewhere,
Yeah,
maybe
okay, we got some.
somewhere far away in your land. As far
What,
as you
what do I
can.
have? What do I have? A ranch
Yeah. They thought,
in Waltham? Yeah, I got a ranch.
yeah.
Ranch
So-
house, maybe.
Yeah, they don't want to deal with it.
If I release it, it goes back under the barn again.
Of course he is.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so I'm not going to tell you what I did with that woodchuck.
No, no, don't want to know.
No,
Don't want to know.
no, the statute of limitations is over now.
All right.
But
I took him to a park. Come on, what are you guys thinking? I released him in a
I'll
park.
tell you, a long time ago, my aunt was still alive. She had a red squirrel. We had these two big pines in front of the farmhouse. With a red squirrel, what a mess they make.
Red squirrels.
Yeah, red squirrels are a pain in the neck. Gray squirrels are bad, but red squirrels will drive you nuts. So I
I've never
trapped.
even heard of it.
Yeah,
I've
yeah,
seen
they're
black
red,
squirrels.
They're reddish.
In
I've seen
Canada,
a white
there's
one.
tons of black.
Albino.
You seen a white one? But there's a red one too, I guess.
I did not know that.
Yeah, there is red squirrels. They're not that common, but they are. Well, I trapped it in a Havahart, and that's how long ago it was. I let it go at Shiny Rocks. There were no houses there then,
No.
Oh, is that right?
so he had a lot of room to play.
Well, that was nice of you.
But my aunt was
He's
driving her
he's a
nuts.
good guy.
This guy.
He's a good guy.
They would chew it. He would knock the pine cones. Every morning the yard would be covered with pine cones.
Was only one red squirrel?
Yeah.
Probably the last of his species, and you.
Pretty lonely,
Well,
too.
no, I brought him. He must have found a mate up there.
I'm sure he did.
Wow.
So, Monday night they had a meeting.
Yes.
Well, you know why they had the meeting? Because they got to get that
Well,
the
you gotta
firehouse,
yeah, you
the
have to.
fire station on the ballot.
Oh, yeah, what's going
So,
on with that?
so
You have to vote to put it on the warrant.
right, they had to
And-
vote to put it on the warrant,
yeah.
and then they got to get it on the town meeting,
Yep.
and then they got to get it into the election.
Yep.
So there's
So-
some progress being made.
Yeah,
It's
That's
gonna
good.
be
Well-
on. It's gonna be up this year.
That's good.
Yeah.
what they said is $179 to $235 per household if you're at about $325,000.
Oh, if you're up there.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
That would be per quarter.
per quarter.
Yeah.
Which you figure that out, that's another $1,000, maybe
Yeah.
$1,300. So add that. But this is what they're assuming. They haven't gone out to bid, and that's what happens in these things. Is just like the field, they got a budget, but then they got to come in and get an actual adjustment.
Now-
Hopefully, they're smart enough to put a 10%.
I heard the
Flop.
field. They haven't got the price back yet. That's what they said at selectmen's meeting.
I was under the understanding they got a bid on it, and it was way over.
Well, with Tony Town Manager, they're still waiting for him to come back.
Okay.
So I don't know what the situation is there.
I thought that's what
I
you said a
know
couple
on the
weeks ago.
school, it came in lower because of the interest rate going
Right.
down.
Right.
And I figured at a higher interest rate, then when they finally settled what the bond was gonna be, the interest rate is lower.
Mm-hmm.
And that could go, I mean, there was talk about going to 0%.
That'd be nice.
They do that in Japan. And that's the federal rate, not the rate you would pay. You're not gonna get a 0% mortgage, but it could go down to like the 1% and 2%.
What's the point of a 0%? This is
It's just you're borrowing the money and it's not costing you anything.
yeah.
Right.
So you,
At the
why
federal,
even
that's the Fed
say
rate.
it? Like,
That's the rate that the
0%.
Fed- Yeah, they charge the banks 0% to borrow money.
Nothing.
Right. They do that in Japan.
You know we're not in Japan, right?
Right.
Just checking.
But the idea is
checking.
to promote the economy. Because it promotes, when you have a 0% rate for banks to get money from the feds, they then lend it out at a low rate of
Yeah.
1-2% and encourages people to borrow
Mm-hmm.
and then do expansions and things like that.
Hmm.
See, so
But
it also helps the real estate market tremendously.
the thing about the fire station, though, and I've heard many people say we should, why not? Why you shouldn't do this or you shouldn't do that? Do it right one time.
Yep.
Get it over with. Get it done. Get it done right. Bite the bullet. It's like buying a car and not having power windows. You know
Yeah.
what? Spend, the extra $50 a month and get power windows and air conditioning.
Well, today, you want to build according to what today's economy requires. You put the safety features in, put everything you got to do. Don't build it like you did 20, 40 years ago. I mean, you have things now that you need to have, and it costs you less to do it when you're building it.
Right. Then
Yeah.
put it in afterwards.
Yeah, I mean, if you buy, like you say, you buy a car with power windows. You buy it without power windows. You say, okay, I'm going to bring it down to the dealer now and have them installed. Well, it's going to cost you a hell of a lot more.
Yep. And
So-
it's smart. I mean, and then bringing the other department over there makes sense because now you got a building that you're only using one floor. You got 2 empty floors. You're heating. Get rid of it. Dump it. Sell it. People can use it for office. People can use it for rehab it and make apartments out of it.
Yeah.
Well, see,
Get rid of it.
to use the upper floors requires an elevator.
Oh yeah. There's no stairs up there.
Yeah,
Just a pipe.
No, it's you can't have a municipal office
Yeah.
that you can't get to if you're handicapped.
You have to have handicapped
Physically
accessibility.
handicapped, not like us.
You have to have handicapped accessibility. In fact, if someone bought it, they would have to put an elevator in. But
Ah.
if they got it cheap enough and it was economical, it'd be worth it for them to do it. And then
Sure.
they could turn it into apartments or
Comes Barry.
like office space.
Yep.
that would be available.
That'd be a cool
You know?
building. Put a little restaurant.
The way
bagel place in there
Unibank
or something.
expands, they'd probably buy it. Really?
Well, we're going next door, I think.
Yeah.
I think we're getting Recatech.
But you know, it makes sense. I mean, they're going to have another big building that's going to be vacant with the Cross Street School.
Yes. I agree.
Time to make some apartments.
Well, here again now, someone told me that there's a need for elderly apartment.
There always is.
Affordable.
Yeah, there always is.
Yeah, see, so.
You got a waiting list at the cotton mills, and
And we're getting more and more elderly all the time.
you are on. Hello.
No.
Hello.
Hello, you're on.
Hey, I just wanted to call up and just some thoughts on the fire station. A lot of calls that I've been getting there. A lot of people aren't too comfortable with the price, but now.
Well, what price are they talking now? Because that seems to be fluctuating.
Well, if you saw, I believe he's talking 29,000 square feet at
Yes.
approximately close to $19 million.
Right.
Right.
And that would be, like you said, roughly about between $400 to $450 a year to an average house of $300,000. That's if they don't do upfront loaded interest on that loan. So we don't know how that's going to work out. But I think we can all agree that the fire station has been on the 5-year capital plan for many, many, many years. And whether or not how the priorities went, I was taken back by a couple of selectmen said, that they've been waiting for a long time for this project, and they're glad it's going forward. But where were their voices when the school and the turf field went before the fire station? So, but I mean, I think what I saw that was missing is that the taxpayers are getting quite hit on a heavy burden. You have a lot of economically challenged people in the town, and I took it as a surprising that there was nothing that the town could do to help offset the costs. You have other towns putting solar on some of their unused property. Like we've mentioned in the past, we got the sewer beds. We have a closed landfill on Church Street Extension. Even that, if they could say, well, we're going to put that on the article that the money from that would go to help, fund the fire station to help the taxpayers, or even to take a small amount of the reserves out. I mean, it wasn't the taxpayers that basically ignored the 5-year capital plan for the last 25 to 30 years. They said it was because of the bad economic conditions, but we all know the economic conditions weren't bad the last 25 years. Now, as you know, Harry, when we did the DPW proposal, when we brought it forward, the Board of Selectmen told us to sharpen our pencils. We had to eliminate the admin section, the locker room, the day room, and I think the showers for the DPW facility, to keeping it at a comfortable price. There's 29,000 square feet. I think when you add the Rockdale Fire Station that isn't manned, I think it's close to like 16,500 square feet that they're using now. The 55,000 square feet that the town manager mentioned in his presentation, I believe a lot of that's non-usable space on the second and third floor of the fire station. But it's just something that to help the taxpayers. Now, I mentioned they're putting the 2,000 square feet of the Aldrich staff down there. Now, what if they kept the staff at the Aldrich building and reached out to the National Park Service that's renting space down at the Linwood Mill and asked them if they would be interested in renting some space out of the Aldrich School? Because, they could actually walk from there and do the park tours right from there, and it would also benefit the town. And as you know, Harry, on the Community Preservation Act money can be used reference to historic buildings as the town of Upton redid their town hall. I mean, that would save 2,000 square feet off that building.
You have to put an elevator in.
Well,
That's
talking
pretty
about at
costly.
the Aldrich.
Yeah, the Aldrich, you have to put an elevator.
If the National Park Service wanted to rent the space?
It's
Oh,
a
yeah,
public,
you have to have
it's a public
accessibility.
entity.
You have to have accessibility.
Okay, all right. Well, I was just throwing that thought out there. Well,
That's great.
Maybe they could use Community Preservation Act money to do that. I don't know. But
You need a lot of money out of that.
now, the other thing I mentioned was the 1908 wing of the middle school that's going to be soon empty because the fifth grade is going to be leaving there. But somebody told me that a lot of that 1908 wing now is unusable. I don't know if you've heard that. Because in 2007 we put the new slate roof on the middle school, and I know Russ wanted to use a different type of material instead of the slate roof, but I find that odd that they're having problems with the roof if that was just done in 2007. But these are just some thoughts, and oh yes, and another thing that the town manager didn't mention that's going to be additional cost is we're going to have to pay an additional cost to maintain all these empty buildings. And we're going to have to still maintain these empty buildings at a cost that wasn't given to the citizens the other night at the Board of Selectmen's meeting. So that's another cost. And then when he discussed the NES school, he failed to mention there's an additional almost 1.5, 2 acres across the street. But, these are just some thoughts. And, like I said, you have a lot of people that are hurting out there. You have seniors on fixed income getting by on 1 or 2 meals a day or eating at fast food places and shut-ins. And, hopefully they'll take a look at it and try to help out the taxpayers. And just some. Oh, yes, and I've been in touch with the procurement officer in the city of Greenfield. They're doing a 20,000 square foot fire station for approximately $10 million, and they're going to be sending me the information that I hope to bring up to the FinCom meeting. But there's a lot of things that we have to do to think about the people with the heavy tax bills they're getting right now, and then are people going to be comfortable with a 5-minute, not a 5-minute response to the schools. And, I'm talking about the ambulance, not just the fire apparatus. I agree with Russ. Yes, the fire apparatuses can go more than, 5 minutes, but the recommendation is a 5-minute response of ambulance to major life-threatening incidents. But these are just some thoughts, and, I hope that, like I said, there's going to be a couple more meetings that I plan to attend and see what shakes out. But I guess, take it from there. Do you guys have any thoughts or questions?
No, not really. Other than that, I looked at the response. The biggest response is at Beaumont.
Mm-hmm.
Right now.
Right now.
Right.
That's like 300.
But I know there's, are those class 1 emergency responses, or are they just basically transports?
No. They're talking emergency calls.
Mm-hmm.
Transport's a booked. You call and book it.
Mm-hmm.
And most transports are done by private ambulance service.
Mm-hmm.
So it's got to be emergency responses.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes sense because that's where the biggest elderly population is.
Yep.
Right.
But and as far as the Cross Street School and that get vacant, that makes some good elderly housing. Here again, require an elevator.
Right, but there'd have to be probably a major asbestos abatement in that building also.
Well, here again, if it's cheap enough, a company will come in and do that.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't have to pay prevailing wage,
Right.
Right.
which is a huge, huge difference.
Right.
Look at the work that was done with the Linwood Mill.
Right. Oh, yes. And isn't the National Park Service renting a place down there?
Yes, but they could be moving out of there. already moved part of it to Rhode Island.
Oh, okay. All right.
So right now, it's in fact not the Park Service so much as the corridor.
Right, right,
It's not the national park.
right.
It's the corridor.
Well, I still believe, hopefully they can sharpen their pencils a little bit and consider a lot of the economically challenged people in the town and what they're dealing with. And, maybe they could get it down to 25 or 24,000 square feet. And, and at least that will help save
Well, you got to
the
keep in mind,
taxpayers a little bit.
you're consolidating two stations into one.
Mhm.
So you can't compare it to Uxbridge,
Mhm.
because they didn't consolidate. In fact, they found that their footprint isn't big enough now.
Yeah. Not only that, when you take, just take a classroom. The classroom isn't expensive. It's just walls.
Right,
It's when you get the turnout gear reclamation area. It's when you get the fire apparatus open bay doors and things like that. You got to have offices. Your chief's got to have an office. Your deputy chief's got to have an office. I mean, there's areas that you have to have. The things that are peripheral that they add on the community room or they're not big. And these guys are now living there, so you got to have bunk space. It's got to be private, because you have men and women. So, but the peripheral things to knock it down to 25,000 square feet are just four walls and some chairs.
Yeah, and if you move the town offices in there, you're heating the building anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not that much more to heat to more space. But that Aldrich School is extremely high to heat.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause
Old windows,
an
brick construction.
Now, they came from the police station. Prior to that, they were down at the police station location, right?
Part of it was.
Well, yeah,
And Board of Health was upstairs in
right.
the
Planning and conservation.
right, and then the Board of Health was upstairs in the actually the main floor
Right.
of the town hall.
Right.
And so was the building inspector.
Right.
And the building inspector and the Board of Health are now together with planning and conservation.
Right.
But that police station part originally was supposed to be a registry of motor vehicles.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Right.
But
And
that
then they
didn't-
backed out.
Right, they backed out after they already started remodeling.
Right, exactly. Now they need more space down there anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
We get bigger, so does the police department. It's
Right.
by per capita.
Right. I think the Uxbridge fire station is roughly 14,500 square feet. So, I'm not saying. I'm just saying whatever they could do, to sharpen their pencils. If they could do something, or even deal direct with, like the company in Sutton or General Steel to get a better price on the garage, but or even some of the innovative offsets that I mentioned, referenced to like the solar or something like that, to help the taxpayers, or even take a small little bit out of reserves a year to help the taxpayers. But these are just some thoughts.
To your front loaded, I don't think that they're going to have a front loaded one, because
I hope not. 'Cause,
this is a longevity.
You know,
This is a longevity project.
right. Well, the school's longevity too. That's 30 years.
Yeah. Well.
And the second half of that 30-year is going to be on the 2021 tax bill.
Right.
And
I think they're trying to do what they did with the high school. That was front-loaded, and they were able to pay it off in less than half.
Right.
right. But if you remember, Harry, I think the high school was on like $7 or $8 million.
Right.
Well, that's because we got 85.
Right.
You're not getting 85 with this one.
No.
Right. I mean, this one's $101 million.
And the other thing is, Uxbridge went through this with their high school, and they put it off, went over a 10-year period. When they finally built it, the price went up tremendously.
Right.
Doubled.
No,
Doubled.
I agree. Something has to be done on the fire station.
Yeah, I mean, if you keep
But
putting it
I'm
off, the
saying-
price is going to go high. If
I'm
we would have
saying we
built
have
it
to
10
sharpen
years
the-
ago, it'd been a lot less.
We sharpened the pencils with the DPW facility. Why can't we sharpen the pencils with the fire station? That's
To
all
a
I'm
certain
saying.
extent, they had some flexibility with the DPW because they have current buildings they could use.
Mhm.
That's not the situation here. You have no current buildings that you'd be able to use.
Mhm.
I mean, I would suggest that the minute they get that place built and moved into, that they get rid of those other two stations.
Oh, they'll give it back anyway.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's something I think he said that it's up to the BPCC to that they're going to handle that. But
Well, they have to the selectmen have to vote on what to do, and then the town.
right, but as long as those buildings are
They'll
standing,
make recommendations.
if the town owns them, they have to still maintain them, right?
Not the one on Main Street. That's deeded right back to the shop.
Has anybody examined that deed to see if that's true?
From what I understood, in the long-term deed,
hopefully
that it's
they've-
property of
they've looked at that.
the shop. If they're ever moved out.
Right. Because I mean, the person that owns the shop now is not the same owners that when White
Yeah, but a deed's a deed.
original shop owned it, right?
Yeah, no, deed's a deed.
Well, knowing the Whitens, that's the way they would do it.
Mhm.
But now, the Rockdale one, Paul White Manufacturing is extinct, so
Mhm.
that definitely would stay with the town. And that could be sold.
Mhm.
Someone could use that for something.
Right, because the
Parking
town
lot.
just put between 75 to 100,000
Repair shop.
into it to do the foundation and the flooring.
Right, but I mean, it could be used. You could set up a small business out of there, like, electrician or something could work out of there.
Right.
A place to put your equipment and everything else.
And then I'm also hearing rumors of potentially that they may be looking for a new middle school too.
Well,
That's
They-
going to
they-
have to be in a while.
they've been looking
I
for
hope so,
years.
because-
Believe me, they're always looking.
Right.
Ideally, they'd get everything new.
Mhm.
Ideally, they'd be looking at a new high school right now, saying, "Hey, this one's almost 20 years old."
Mhm.
But it ain't gonna happen.
Right. Well,
That is hard to believe.
I just hope that they consider what the taxpayers are facing out there, and that whatever they can do to help the taxpayers, even if it's some offsets, like I was saying, to either solar or take a little bit out of reserves or whatever they can do, but because it surely wasn't the taxpayers that didn't build a fire station years ago when there was more federal and state money. And I think that would be only fair that town government tries to help the taxpayers as much as they can.
Yeah.
Agree.
That's all I got for tonight, gentlemen. And
Okay.
Stay safe and stay well.
All right.
Right.
We said it years ago. We build a fire station. I've been supporting that for years. Charlie said he started in '98. Yeah. And we would have done that. We probably would have got some grant money. We used to show a picture of the one that a former town manager got for his new job.
In Westport,
Westport. Beautiful fire
we
station.
had the land.
Yeah.
We had the site work.
Yep.
We just couldn't get the people to get behind it.
Yep. And that's why.
And there was federal money for that.
Yeah. You gotta swallow the bullet sooner or later.
Oh.
It's gonna happen.
It's, as I say all the time, it's just like your house.
Yeah.
If the roof leaks, it's going to ruin everything.
Look at
You gotta bite the bullet and
Douglas tried it, and what happened? They were parking the trucks in
On guys' house-
at people's
front
houses.
lawns.
Yeah.
putting tarps over them.
Yeah.
Who?
Douglas. They literally were parking the apparatus on people's front lawns or driveways.
Fire engines?
Yeah, because theirs was condemned.
The building was condemned. They had to get out of it.
Wow.
They
It
had
was
no
literally
place to
falling
go.
down around
They
them.
had no place to go.
And then they
because
were
people
forced
kept-
into buying and building
Yeah.
a fire station.
Because people kept saying, "No, we don't want it. We don't want it. We don't want to spend the money." Well, eventually, it's like your own personal. You got a car and it keeps falling apart. I don't want to buy a new one. Well, you're going to keep spending money on repairing it?
Right.
I mean, you got to make up your mind what you want to do.
Yeah.
And maybe it's going to cost you, but what are you going to do? Do I want to pay it?
Hell no.
I may not be alive to see it paid off.
No, only the good die young, Harry.
I mean,
You'll be here a while.
I said that about this. I mean, this is 30 years.
I know. And I can't believe that. I can't believe that high school's almost 20 years old.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
2000.
It just boggles the mind.
And what year is it now? 2020.
2020.
20 years.
The high school is 20
Yeah.
years? That looks pretty new, though.
2000.
Wow.
So
How long is high school supposed to live for?
well, it should last 50 years at
That's
minimum.
most of them.
At
Minimum.
minimum.
That's their plan.
Okay.
Of course,
The
it's-
technology is the tough part.
Yeah.
The technology?
yeah, because technology keeps changing and you can't keep up with it.
Gotta
I
change
mean,
all the infrastructure in there and everything. Huh?
You know, if you go back 50, 60 years ago, technology was slow on changing. Not anymore. Back then, they were using the same blackboards, for 100 years? They don't use blackboards anymore.
No.
I mean, you had TV, at one point you had TVs in the classroom. You don't have TVs in the classroom anymore. You got computers.
Mm-hmm.
Things change rapidly.
It's nuts.
Yeah, and
Probably
you
gonna
know,
be robots teaching our kids like in the next 5 years or so. Huh?
that is a strong possibility. That's the other thing to look at too. That
Or some teachers that look like robots.
well, you know, the thing is that is the future going to be
I had
that?
teachers like that before.
Yeah, is the future not even having a building?
Yeah, doing it from home.
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
You're seeing that happen more and more.
Hey, look at all of these colleges. People are taking
Yeah.
taking the work home. I mean, today with college, it's so freaking much money to go to college and stay there. And what do you go? 6 classes a week?
I know
That's a
someone
lot.
who's I know a
Less than
professor
that
who
sometimes.
teaches marketing, and he doesn't even go to the college. It's all on the internet. All his courses, everything is done via the internet.
Look at your state senator. Your congresswoman. She got paid $375,000 a year. She never showed up for one class.
Pocahontas?
Yes,
Oh.
Yeah,
Hiawatha.
yeah. Senator,
Senator, right? Senator. I keep saying Congress, but she never showed up.
right?
Ain't that something?
I mean, they're going to be more and more teaching by internet than you ever saw before. I mean, it's going to be more and more common. You can
Working
take
from home on
Yeah.
a computer now is the gig, and I can
Yeah.
remember 15 years ago, my brother worked for AT&T Bell Labs Verizon, and his job was to set people up to work out of their house and sell the properties. I'm like, what are you doing? He goes, oh no, it's better to have people work from home. You don't have to pay for the building, the heat, the maintenance. They work from home. They're logged on. You got them qualified that they're logged on, and you're done. I thought he was nuts. Now everybody's doing it.
and you know what?
Yeah.
The employee doesn't have to pay the cost of commuting.
Essential employees only.
You're not paying the cost of commuting in. You don't have to buy a lunch at lunchtime. You go right to the refrigerator, get your lunch. I mean, there's so much savings on both ends.
You don't have to go out and get a whole wardrobe to go to work.
Right.
You could be in your pajamas.
Pajamas, if you wear pajamas.
This is true.
As long as you don't have a camera on your computer.
There was a commercial that did that. The guy who had a shirt and tie on and everything, and he dropped the computer and he had no pants on.
Right. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
That's all you need. It's like right here. You just need
Yeah.
from
That's
here
it.
up.
Right.
I mean,
That's it.
you're not wearing any pants right now.
No, well, they don't know that.
I'll tell you, with education too. I was down visiting with Jeannie Hebert this afternoon. Tonight they had a class starting up in the Blackstone Valley Education Hub, and it's all former prisoners from the House of Correction, from the Worcester County Jail,
Oh.
and they're being taught how to be machinists. They're gonna do a welding course. So these guys who went to jail probably because they didn't have a decent job and they had no money. In a lot of cases, they're not paying child support. because they don't have a job, or they have other problems. Well, they're going to train them into jobs, and they've already got people that want to hire them.
That's great.
The
So-
toughest thing to do is get somebody to show up every day.
And what they're offering down there too is, you graduate from Northbridge High. Well, Northbridge High doesn't offer any voc courses. Most kids can't get into voc tech because it's packed. Well, you can. What we want the guidance. She wants the guidance counselors to start telling the kids, look, when you graduate, you can go there and take a course. It's less than a year. I forget how many weeks it is, and you'll get the same training, and you'll get a job out of it. And they're going to have a whole lot of stuff they're going to train.
Like they used to do at the Voc schools.
Yeah, eventually they're going to have a course, and they're starting up with night courses again.
That's awesome.
So I mean, these are other things of education that are going to take place.
Jeannie's spearheading this
Yeah,
this initiative. It's
Yeah.
good.
no, she does a great job on that. This is
That's great.
a great program, and I tell you, it's great that we got it here in the valley, right here in Northbridge.
It's awesome.
But it's a good thing to get enrolled into, and here's a chance. You get out of high school with a high school diploma, but what are you qualified in?
Yep.
Here, you can get qualified in something. And I'm telling you, they got state-of-the-art equipment there to work on,
That's terrific. Where is it?
right in the Wynwood Mill.
Oh, really? I did not know that.
Oh.
Yeah, in the bottom floor. They took over a whole area, remodeled it, and Valley Tech did some of the work. They came in, remodeled, built classrooms. She got a grant over $500,000 about almost $1 million in grant money
Wow.
to buy the equipment, to stock it. Got grant money to help pay for the teachers. This is being looked at by the governor's office because this is almost like a satellite test. And so-
Interesting.
and if this works, they want to do this statewide.
That's terrific.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, not everybody is college material.
no.
Not everybody's going to go into the business
Why
world.
are you looking at me when you say that?
I'm not. I'm just looking.
He was staring at me when he was saying that.
You are awful. You are awful.
Anyway, you were saying.
The
Russ,
thing
But
is,
then it's an opportunity for people to get a job.
yeah.
you know where you
But the
work
main
the same
workforce.
way. The problem is finding people
Oh
that
yeah.
know how to run the machinery.
Oh, yeah.
That know how to program it.
Oh yeah.
That's what they're
Oh,
going
it's
to
huge
teach them
now.
there.
To see the amount of computer programming that goes into cutting a piece of glass
Yeah.
is nuts.
So it's not. You don't need the guy that can use a tape measure. You need a guy that can use a keyboard.
You also need to have the tape measure
You need
because you need to make sure that it's cut the right size.
right.
Trust me.
You got to.
That's the other guy. That's the other guy.
But
And
you-
you know how many people can't use a tape measure?
Don't know how to read it.
It's amazing how many people cannot read a tape measure.
I'm
Unbelievable.
still using the metric system. That's probably my.
Oh God!
Well, you know what they tried to.
You know what's really funny?
What?
Is the machinery we have is mostly Italian.
Oh.
It's all in
in metric.
all in metric.
Oh,
and
yeah.
and a lot of the we don't call 1/4-inch glass anymore. It's now 6 millimeter, 8 millimeter.
Well, you know,
10
we have
millimeter.
to start changing because the world is metric. We're the only ones that still
And
use.
all of our temperatures are in Celsius. So you have to mentally be able to calculate back over to
That's why
Fahrenheit.
you got to put your cell phone right there. And
No, I got pretty much down to get it down pat.
You know, the metric system, once you learn it, is much simpler.
It's tens.
Right. So it's much simpler.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, and so it's same with Celsius. Water freezes at 0. We have water Fahrenheit. It freezes at 32.
Right.
Which, why 32? Well, that's
Who picked that?
A man named Fahrenheit.
Right, but who? Why we listening to him?
I know.
Mr. Fahrenheit, causing all
The thing
kinds
is
of
that
problems.
it's so much simpler. You know, okay, it's at 0. Anything below 0 is freezing.
What, Celsius, Mr. Celsius? That,
Yeah. Mr. Celsius.
ain't that something?
And with the metric system, everything's in tens, so it's easier to figure out. You know, we're using a linear system where a 3-foot measure was the distance that you had from the king's nose to his fingertips or something like that. That's where they came up with that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
What?
Were you there?
I know that from history. I wasn't
He
there.
signed off on it.
But I mean, they came up with these measurements, by body size. You know, a guy
Hand's
had
breadth.
big feet, measured 1 foot, 12 inches.
Or a horse.
Yeah,
Hands.
yeah, yeah. You measure a horse by hand.
By hands.
The height of a horse is measured by hand. I mean, let's go. I would have a hard time learning it.
Oh, hell yeah.
But
It's tough.
But if you start teaching it early,
Mm-hmm.
it's just like we had a hard time learning linear measures.
Mm-hmm.
But we learned them.
Mm.
You know, I mean, it's like I say, dealing with centimeters and meters is a lot easier.
You agree with that, Russ?
It's easy.
Look
It's
at-
easier if you get used to it. It takes getting used to.
You know how they measure, how you measure speed on water with knots?
Yeah.
You know why you call it knots?
No.
Because of the number of knots on the rope that you drag behind.
Are you serious?
That's why I call it knots.
I never knew that.
Yeah. See,
I never knew.
I looked that stuff up because I wonder, why would they call it knots?
Doesn't make any sense to me.
The distance was measured by number of knots.
Okay.
That's like the dish I had the other day, the chicken rice ping.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's chicken and rice.
You know, arroz con pollo.
No, chicken and rice. The ping is the microwave that makes.
Oh, he's a beauty.
It's got nothing to do with what you were talking about. It just came to my mind when you were talking about the nuts and all that.
Chicken rice ping.
Ping.
That's awesome. I thought you were talking about arroz con pollo.
That's what it is. Arroz con pollo ping.
Arroz con pollo ping.
In Spanish, if you go to, you know.
It's, yeah, anyway. Oh, I don't know if, I got to bring this. This drove me nuts. I couldn't believe this. They had a hearing today in Congress. You know what you know what a disability is that you can collect on?
Oh, God. Being fat.
No. Not being able to speak English.
Hey, can you get money for that?
Yeah.
No habla inglés right here.
Yeah. You imagine that? It came up in a hearing.
That's a disability?
This congressman said, I found where a listed disability was the inability to speak English.
It's not an inability. It's just you don't want to.
Right. I said I couldn't,
That's truer than you think.
because they were talking about the budget. And this is, you know, they say Trump is cutting the budget. What they're cutting is the amount of growth. See, only in government could the growth be a cut. In other words, instead of increasing the budget for certain things like Medicaid, not Medicare. Medicare is for elderly. Medicaid is for people of low means. Instead of increasing it by 4%, they increase it by 2%. But that's a cut. No.
Hey, while you're on politics, isn't it nice that they left New England? We don't have to watch those frigging commercials
Oh
anymore.
my God.
Oh,
It was
left
getting
me?
tiring.
I want to shoot Tom Steyer in the head.
Oh my God.
I'm
I
so
know.
sick and tired of listening to
And
him.
what did he get out of that?
Nothing.
Nothing. No.
Nothing. Neither did Yang. Neither did half of them.
Yang is out.
Gone.
Yang is out.
So's Devil Patrick. He's
Another
out too.
guy. Deval Patrick is
Yeah.
out. He
And
was
so
there.
Is,
I didn't even know he
what
was
was
there.
the other guy? The guy from Colorado.
There was another guy. Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
And then the former member.
Tulsi Gabbard. She's gone.
Is she gone?
Tulsi's gone.
Yeah. Well,
You know,
didn't get
she
any-
was like the only Democrat that I could take seriously.
right, and she actually had an actual speech that you could understand.
I thought you were
and
gonna
get-
say brain.
No, I mean, but I mean, look, I've always been, partial to somebody that served for the country.
Yeah.
But she had sensible things that she was saying, not this far right crap. Of,
Right.
We're going to give everybody everything, and college kids are going to. Why do you think that nitwit won last night?
Far left, you mean? Far left.
Yeah,
You
because they
said
always
far
say
right.
he's going to pay off my college debt.
Exactly. What's in New Hampshire? Colleges.
Right.
It's like going to Worcester and getting all of the kids to, and then as soon as they get out of college and they're paying their bills back, they're like, hey, wait a minute, I'm not voting for him. I'm already paid.
Yeah, yeah.
you get your money back.
Yeah, good luck with that. And that Yang, we're going to give every person over 18 $1,000 a month, just for the hell of it.
I know.
Really? And who's paying for that?
Well,
Yeah.
what they're gonna do is you're gonna get assessed $1,000,
Exactly.
$12,000 a year more on your
So
income
is that
tax.
the way to get elected these days? You just say you're gonna give people money?
They were gonna send you a check for
I think
$1,000
Obama got
a month,
elected.
but then you'd get a check for $1,000 a month, but then
What kind of a
at the end
society
of the year,
do
you gotta
you-
pay $12,000
Well, that's what-
tax.
that's
You
the ridiculous.
bill when
Right,
you
well.
like get voted because you're giving them something.
Well, that's people want stuff. I want my free stuff.
I know that's the
You
kind of
get,
people that are voting. so
Yeah,
you
I want my
them.
free stuff. My Obama phone. Go
Yeah.
pay my mortgage.
Yeah.
No, he's not. No, he's not.
Well,
How about
what are you
that?
gonna do?
That great guitarist, he got out of it too. Joe Walsh.
So who's next? Who do you think is next? Who do you think is coming out next? You think Biden is gonna drop out?
Bloomberg, well, he's going to have to.
Yeah.
And I think Warren's not going to make it either because
Making a
Bloomberg's
lot
going to
of
get.
mistakes.
The bad part about the whole concept of what you're looking at is as soon as they get to the not the caucus but the actual Democratic convention, they're going to kick Bernie in the butt and send him packing
Oh, you think so?
because they did it last time.
So
Yeah,
who's gonna
and
be?
you know what?
It's going to be
The Bernie Bros are gonna be ripping.
Buttigieg?
Buttigieg is probably okay, but I think they're going to try and push Bloomberg up there.
Bloomberg. Bloomberg didn't
Yep.
do anything in New Hampshire. No.
Bloomberg saved
wasn't on
New
the
York
ballot.
after 9/11.
He wasn't on the ballot in New Hampshire.
He wasn't even there for 6 years.
Right.
I love that. I brought the New York back from the brink of disaster after 9/11. Hey, dude, you weren't mayor for 6 years after that. There was Rudy Giuliani.
Wow.
I love when they take credit for stuff they didn't do.
People must not read history or something.
Oh, well, they don't
Just
pay attention.
Hear the stuff and okay. If you say
One
so,
of the things they tell you is if you keep telling people enough, they'll believe it.
you tell them often and
Bloomberg did
often.
reduce the size of your soda.
Yes, he did. You can't have a 32-ounce soda. Well, you see the thing what he did about they got the tape of him talking
Well,
about
Yeah,
the
about these,
the black neighborhoods.
frisk,
Stop and frisk.
Stop and frisk.
Because he
That,
said
he can't, he's having a hard time getting out of that one.
it's not going to get out of it. They have it on tape.
Yep.
He believed in stop and frisk for no reason.
For no reason.
No reason except for the neighborhood you were in.
And your color.
And color, right.
So if you were
And-
white, they stop and frisk
No.
No,
Yeah.
no,
no,
the other way around.
you? Oh, okay.
Yeah, they weren't going to do it in Beverly Hills, I'll give you that.
Black and Hispanic.
That's it.
Yep. For the most part. And he said that's because where the crime was. So if you were walking through New York, you could have got frisked.
Jeez, I'm going over there tomorrow.
We're not doing it anymore.
He just wants somebody to touch him.
Yeah. I'm gonna first go through the TSA,
There you go.
then drop in and
I mean, there are certain things you have to do. I know that under Giuliani, he got tough on urinating on the street, which was
Well, yeah.
quite common.
And he also got rid of all of the prostitutes down in Times Square.
Yes.
just urinating on the street.
Yeah. Believe me, it's not uncommon in New York.
Oh, it's awful.
Yeah.
But there's not a lot
And
of bathrooms either you
No.
can use.
Well, it's really bad in Hollywood, trust me.
Oh.
That was disgusting.
Wow.
What, Hollywood,
That's the homeless.
California there? Yeah, I heard some things are happening over there. Pretty bad.
It's awful.
Oh my God. You know, they don't have sewer hookups in their tents.
Right. Well, you figure it out. Why are there more homeless people in California? It's warm. It gets cold in Boston. It gets cold in New York.
Not
you
in
know,
California.
So the homeless people are going to find someplace to. So if they can, they're going to get to where it's warm.
And they
Go to
tolerate
Florida.
it too.
Oh well, yeah, tolerate it. It's something awful. Well, they say now San Francisco's ungodly
They got
Yep.
tents and stuff, right?
everywhere,
That's amazing.
They're right on the sidewalk.
That's crazy.
and they can't do anything about them. I literally saw a guy stand in the middle of the street, out of his mind,
Yeah.
no shirt on, smelly, directing traffic. And the cop tried to get a cruiser to take him, and they wouldn't put him in his cruiser because he smelled so bad. I swear to God, I watched it. I stood there and watched him. This is hysterical. We're not putting him in our car. He stinks.
Oh, look at Times Square now.
Oh.
You started with the naked cowboy,
Uh-huh.
but now you got
What do they
these.
got now?
You got the women, the painted women.
Uh-huh.
That some of them cases are totally naked.
How about the creatures?
Oh, all with the
The Disney people.
Disney. Yeah, they dress
Oh.
up like Disney,
And they're and annoying.
and Disney doesn't do anything about it.
No, they can't. You got to be able to get them into court.
Yeah,
Is it worth it?
Uh-uh.
they dress up like characters,
Yeah, I seen
and you
them.
get your
Minions
picture
and-
taken with them.
You know.
I went there one time. The customs are pretty dirty too. They're not like.
Oh yeah, they're
Oh,
filthy.
they got some good costumes. They make a lot of money doing it.
Yeah.
But the women, there's some women there that I mean, they're totally naked, and I don't know how you know.
Well,
we
they
went from the-
painted though, right?
Uh-huh.
They're
Yeah, but it's
painted.
still, I mean, it's still naked, and we're going from the pawn shops now to real people.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, they cleaned that up for a long time.
Yeah.
It was
New
oh
York.
boy, it was nasty.
Oh,
It was nasty back in the 70s.
I remember going to New York back in the late '60s, '70s, and coming out of the. I was in the army. I came out of. I walk out of the terminal, Port Authority terminal. I say, "How do we get out to 42nd Street?" He's right out there. Hold on to your wallet. Hold on to your clothes. Hold on to everything you own.
I used
there
to
was,
come out of Port Authority every day.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget it as long as I live. There was a big Irish cop. And you know what a chicken hawk is? Chicken hawk is a guy who stands and waits for girls coming off of buses from Iowa, Kansas that are running away from home.
Yeah.
And they would promise them, you know, and take them, and they would do
Get
is
'em
turn
into
them
show
into
business.
they're going to turn them into prostitutes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, this guy had a billy club with a sleeve on his wrist, and he would stand behind one of the big pillars, and the guy would walk by, and he would step out, and he would hit that guy in the back of the head so hard with the billy club, he would flip, and he'd just leave him there and take the girl. Take her, bring her,
Well,
send
he
her back
deserves
home.
it.
Oh, I'm telling you, he left him bleeding. Didn't
Yeah.
even care, just kept going. You couldn't do that today because that would be horrible.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Well, the liberals would go crazy. By the way, did you see the new slogan for Trump?
No.
Make the liberals cry again.
Oh, I like that. Yeah. I like
I
that.
saw a guy to a jacket and it says, "Make the liberals cry again."
It's crazy. I saw a truck the other day with a big Trump sticker on it. I'm saying, I thought people couldn't do that anymore.
Drive out 16.
Yeah.
There's a huge Trump on top of a house.
But people
Yeah.
people are scared to do that, you know.
No, some
Wear your
people aren't.
hat.
Believe me. There's a store in Bellingham. You can buy all kinds of Trump paraphernalia.
I heard
this.
about that.
And he's growing.
Yeah, and he's
friend of mine
opening
went in there.
a number of stores across Massachusetts.
Get this, a friend of mine went in there.
Yeah.
He was home, and this is what happened. He was home. He was watching a movie. He was eating some Cheetos, right? He had some Cheetos. His fingers were all orange. And he walked into that place, and they couldn't, left some of the orange in his fingers. And he bought a hat, like Trump train hat. And he's thinking, man, this guy's like, he's a Trump guy all the way.
Did you see that picture of him? It was awful.
Oh, I
With
know.
his hair. Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Oh, the hair back.
Yeah.
Well, this
Yeah.
shows
It's
the,
about 4 miles long.
Isn't
Because
that
he twirls it around in a circle.
He does a
That's
hell
the
of a-
extreme comb over.
He got an extreme comb over. Yeah.
hey, he's
Do
looking
you know what
pretty
drives
healthy.
me nuts though? When Obama was in, Michelle Obama was everywhere. She was the prize. When Hillary Clinton was there, she was the prize. She was on every magazine cover and everything. Have you ever seen Ivanka Trump on a magazine cover?
Nope.
Not once.
Nope.
Not once. And she's way more attractive than Hillary.
Well, it's because the media. The media.
Right. Well, that's it. They suck.
Yeah.
They're awful.
Hollywood and the media. That's.
They're awful.
Former model.
Did
Speaks,
you see?
What, 4 or 5
Did
languages?
you see the ratings for the
Oscars.
the Oscars?
Yep. Yep.
And they still wanted to give speeches in there about politics. Still, so they don't learn.
Ricky Gervais is my new favorite.
Did you see that?
I love
the
that.
Golden Globes?
That was awesome.
Do you
It was
see that?
awesome. You know what's really funny, and I was talking about this the last couple of days. I really do. They all ate vegan because they want to be green. Yet they all flew there in their own personal jets.
Yep.
Yeah, you're green, my butt.
He seemed like he told them, "You don't know anything about the world, so just get your little prize." And
Yeah, I love that.
I couldn't
love
believe
that.
it. That's,
That was the best.
nobody's
Get your prize and
saying
get off the stage. Shut you up.
he got a lot of flack for that.
Oh yeah,
It's
he
still
doesn't
like-
care.
Yeah, yeah.
doesn't
it's
care.
good
Oh,
for
he's
him.
right on target.
Good
They're
for
hurting
him.
themselves by opening their mouth.
Well, they are. Yeah, they are. Well,
Yeah.
who was it? I can't remember who it was. Somebody had a movie. They were on Jay Leno, and it was like Jane Fonda or somebody like that, and they said, the teabaggers and the Trump lovers and her movie opened for one day and was gone.
Yeah,
The liberals don't spend their own money.
they don't
We
get it.
gotta go. We gotta go.
Oh, there we go.
Okay.
Oh.
Tomorrow night, my guest is going to be Carol from the new stained glass store down there, our old studio on Providence Road. And we'll see you next week on
Yep.
Town Talk.
Yeah, be cool.
All right.